This is a walkthrough to show how I've put together some knowledge tests together, combined to make an assessment which I can then set for a defined start and end time for the lower six. I'm going to do a walkthrough as to how I did it and how others have recommended, and I'd be really grateful if anyone has got any other ideas about how I should do it better. I'd love to hear from you. It's going to be quite a rough and ready thing. I haven't scripted this, it's just to show you how I've done. So here I am on the boost page. I'm going to show you first of all what I ended up with. So you can toggle this to make it show a little bit more. Let's go to the lessons that I've set. So you'll see I haven't done very much yet because I haven't got used to this after dynamic learning, and I've created a lesson folder already which is called assessments. If I click on there, you can see I've created a year 12 spring assessment. Click on there and there's the assessment where I've learned how to add I've got here 2 things to do with unit 3, 2 things to unit 4, and I was able to add section headings, which I thought looked quite neat. And having got that far, if you click on share, that's where you had an option to share via Microsoft Teams, so I thought I'd do it that way, included teachers. But when I came to do it, it looked to me as if I could only do a date due by. I didn't seem to be able to do a date when it was going to be shared, because I didn't really want it to be shared before 9 o'clock on the Tuesday morning. So maybe that someone else knows how to do that, but I couldn't work out how to do that. So the way that I did it was that I clicked the share and then I generated the web link, and that was where I could copy the link, and then I went in to set the assignment in the usual way. So here you'd go into your team and then you click on assignment, and then I create the assignment. Then I fill in the boxes. So I filled in the title there, the instructions, and then the whole thing is out of 130, so I can put that in there. I'm assigning it to them. It has to be due by, and it's going to be on Tuesday that they do the assessment, and they're going to be finishing it at 10:30 in the morning. And actually I might make that 40 because they might 45. It might start late, I suppose. And then the it's not going to be posted immediately because I don't want them to see it until the beginning of the test. So I go into here, and this is where I will select the time that it begins. So it's going to assign in the future. Post date will be Tuesday the 8th, and the time will be 9 o'clock in the morning. Due by then, we'll put 10:45. Due date, and the close date will also be at that time. So assignment will be posted at 9 o'clock, and it's due. We're allowing an hour and a half. Late hand-ins not allowed. It's okay. So do done. And then I can schedule that there. So that it's scheduled, it's not being given out, and it will go to them at the time then they're going to do the test. You may have noticed I didn't actually add the link. So here we had to copy the link. If you remember, let's cancel that. Remember how I did this? I went like that, and then I generate a web link. Done. And now let's go back to the assessment. So I open it and I want to update it. Oh, you see me make mistakes. Update was not what I had to do because I'm actually in edit mode here. So this is where I'm going to edit it, and I'm going to add the link, which is the most important thing. There we go. So there it is. Text display, yeah, that's fine. attach. There, that's better, and then I will update it. So there it is, it's scheduled. Let's have a look just to check. If I click on it again, I've got the title, I've got the link, out of 130, and everything should be working. Yes. Okay, so I didn't have to update anything there. So now, for those people who don't know how to get this far, I'm going to now talk about how I created the lesson. So here we are on our page. For me, it didn't work to click on set a knowledge test. I don't understand why that is. Perhaps we haven't got a particular subscription which allows it. I really don't understand that at all. So anyway, so we go back to Boost and make it a bit open. So what I'm going to do is I am going to create a lesson. So I'm going to click lesson, and that brings me to where my lessons are kept. And presumably when I do other folders, or other people have folders, perhaps they'll appear here, I don't know. But anyway, for me, these are my lesson folders. At the moment I've got one that's called personal and one that's called assessment. So let's imagine that I want to create an assessment just for the end of Unit 2. It's an assessment, so I'm going to click on the folder for assessments where I've already got one. Then I click New Lesson, and I'm going to call the lesson. So I've just typed that in, Unit 2 assessment, end of unit assessment, and 2 translations, and add. So I'm letting this go real time to see whether or not this works. There we are, a new lesson has been created. But at the moment, this folder is empty, there's nothing in it. Now the first thing that I did, I thought this would work, would be if I add a resource, and you go to the resource, add a knowledge test. When I did that, you've just got so many options. Even if you define it by French, you have to know what it is you're looking for. So I'm now going to show you the way that I prefer to. You could do that though, you can just click on it and then it would add it. So I'm going to cancel that, and I'll show you the way that I think is probably the quickest way, which some very kind person on Facebook suggested, which is where you add it to a clipboard and then you add it to the lesson. So here we are again. This time I can go on to knowledge tests, and knowledge tests do appear if I've gone through that order. So just to recap, if I just start from there and I go to set a knowledge test, that's where I find there isn't anything there. Whatever I do, there's nothing there. I'm sure there's a reason for this, but if I go to not lessons, if I go to courses, A level, and then I click on knowledge tests, then they all appear. So I'm looking for some tests to set in Unit 2, and you can see if you scroll down it does actually divide it into units. Another way I think there can be that you can just click on there and you'll find all the units. And let's say I'm looking for my end of unit test. This is where I'm not finding it terribly, and there may be a way of searching for this. I suppose if I'd done it that other way of searching for it, that might have worked. Where is the end of unit test? There we are. So here, what I could have done was just, oh no, this is what I'm doing, yes. I'm sharing it, but I'm adding it to the clipboard, that's it. So share rather than add, add to the clipboard rather than share, and then it'll pop over here that's one of the things I want to add. I could then straight away add it to the lesson, but I think what I'll do is choose the other things I want first of all, and then I can add them all. I clicked away to get rid of the clipboard, but then I don't quite know how to get that clipboard back other than by clicking on another share. So let's say I'm going to go for one medium test. I think they're really difficult, by the way, but let's have problems in secondary school. So that's the English into French. So click on there, add to clipboard, and that's where it does pop up and you can see it. And then if I click away, it goes away. And then I'm looking one for the other direction. And I don't seem to be able to find a French into English one, so I'll do just a vocabulary from French into English. Perhaps if I do the 3 which go with the unit. So I can click that one, share, add to clipboard, share, add to clipboard. That was 2.2, 2.3, where's the 2.1 French to English? There we are. Share, add to clipboard. That's quite a few activities there now. Now I then go add to lesson and I select my folder. So the folder, I've only got 2 folders set up, and one is assessments, and within assessments I know I've got a lesson, but I've got to know to click next, and then I find I've already set up this unit to assessment, which hasn't got anything yet, so I go next. Maybe it wants me to create a section first of all. Right, so let's have the section of end of unit test done. Oh, the knowledge tests have been added to the section. Right, so let's go back and look at the lesson, see what it looks like. Has it added what I wanted it to? So into assessments, unit 2 assessments. And yes, it's put them all into there. I suppose what I could have done is just skipped doing a section, and perhaps then it would have come in without any sort of section heading. But having got this far, I now actually do want to have a new section, because, okay, there's the section which is the end of unit test, but it's only that one which is that section. So let's create a new section, and we'll call it vocabulary. And it's French into English, isn't it? So I'll call it translation French to English, because that's what those are. Translation French to English, and then I add. Here we are. This section is empty. And let's drag then the French to English. I think if I just click that, it'll go down there. Ooh, yes, that's 1. And then the 2. It's having a little think. And let's put the 2 down. There we are. And now let's put the 3 down. Right. And now let's add a new section, which is the translation English to French, and then add. Takes a little while, but oh no, that's quite quick. And then I'm going to add then the translation there. There we are. So there you've got your lesson all sorted out. If you want to get rid of any of those sections, you would just go onto the bin. If you want to edit the titles or say what it is, so for example here, spend about 25 minutes on this part, for example, and that would come out. And you could do all of these things could be moved around, so the sections could be moved around as well if you want them to go somewhere else. I expect someone knows how to do that. Haha, I've just seen reorder section, look up there. Click on reorder section, and then you can decide which order you want to do. So let's go for the easy thing first of all, which is the easiest thing is French into English, and then we could go English into French, and then we could have the end of unit test done.